going on, Jerome's? Minnesota Vikings back at it. TCO Performance Center Bar and Grill. Regular afternoon practice. I don't think this one's open to the fans, but basically shifting around of things because the Vikings were supposed to have a Monday off. Try that again. Vikings were supposed to have night practice last night, but that was rained out. They switched night practice to the 12th. They shift their off day to Monday, and now they're back at it on a regular practice day. Fans will be there Wednesday and Thursday, but Kevin O'Connell fed the local media jackals ahead of today's practice number 10. Unless I'm missing something. I don't know. But also, we need to talk about Kevin O'Connell being a hat model again. Like, I know that the Vikings aren't going to extend him or Kwesi this offseason, so how about just hat models? It happens, man. First up, I talked about Jerry Tillery. Ben Gessling, Star Tribune. Kevin O'Connell said Jerry Tillery needed a couple of stitches after a pretty significant laceration on his calf after he was cleated. He avoided anything major, O'Connell said. And that was a little bit scary over the weekend where came out on the cart. And basically he talked about how sometimes the cart is more precaution, but he's feeding the media as well as putting the fans' mind at ease because obviously there's no injury reports in the preseason and training camp, but Tillery should be good to go after those stitches heal. Although it shows how tough NFL players are, right? Because honestly, if I got cleated and I had a long-ass laceration on the back of my calf, sort of near my Achilles, I would just be like, done, finito. I'm just going to go in the booth. I'm going to get the Tom Brady money. Just talk ish. So if Jonathan Vilma can be a color commentator on Fox, so can I. That's it, man. Also, you notice how Fox just conveniently puts Jonathan Vilma on Vikings broadcast, and then Vilma has the temerity to talk about, player safety is very paramount in the league. Shut up. Well, Jerry Tillery will be back. Although it is kind of nice that in Tillery's absence, you got Jonah Williams and Levi Drake Rodriguez getting a lot of his snaps there. So it's good to go. Also come back from injury, Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who's not Carl Gershman. Lewis Cine will begin easing back into practice today per Kevin O'Connell. I don't know, obviously Cine is way behind the 8 ball. Even on the unofficial official depth chart that came out, I mean, it's clear that he's really sucking hind teeth in terms of the safety room with Harrison, Beasley, Metellus, Jay Ward, Theo Jackson's safety 4. Bobby McCain's probably even going to be ahead of him too. So I don't know, it's an uphill battle. And the Vikings, I thought that the Vikings may have, since he's going to be his rookie contract is fully guaranteed as a first-round pick. I thought that the Vikings may have put him on injured reserve and just shelved him for next year since they're going to have to pay him if they cut him anyways. So who knows, man. But stranger things have happened. Like maybe Lewis Cine will rise and all of a sudden be viable for potentially a trade or making the roster. I'm trying to remember. Was it J-Ron Curse? I want to say. He was terrible during the beginning of training camp. I think he was injured too for part of it. But then once preseason games came around, he rose up and made the team, eventually became a special teams captain for Zimmer. It's kind of weird, man. Anyways, other stuff. So you talked about having to put out a depth chart and how it's not official, but it does give them a guideline, but obviously it is unofficial. Preseason play, he's going to update the media jackals on Thursday. They're still working on the plan for deployment on Saturday, the first preseason game against the Raiders, but he wants to let the players know in-house first, which I respect as opposed to hearing about it through the media or on Twitter or whatever. How much you're going to play on preseason. McCarthy, he's effusive in the praise about how McCarthy has improved so much since he got here, and then also really talked up the quarterback room, both the coaches as well, Grant Udinski as well as jumping Josh McCown, plus the quarterbacks in that room. From Darnold to McCarthy to Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall, where they're all in different stages of their careers, and some guys have been on the team, some guys have been in the system, some haven't. But they are. He also, he inferred that there's very little ego in that room too, where yes, they're all competing for one spot essentially, but they're helping each other out, and they understand that they're helping out the team, as opposed to just being selfish. Because, it usually happens, man. Like veteran quarterbacks, young rookie quarterbacks are, I'm not helping you, and you're not taking my... Nah, none of that, man. Also, you talked about how putting the details over results. It's like, process over results, because they could have a great play in training camp, preseason, whatever, but everything could be wrong. Like the footwork could be wrong, the ball placement could be wrong, but might just strike pay dirt. Now, does that mean that's the way to do it? No, but more consistency, and the devil is in the details. Doing that over and over and over again will increase the likelihood of getting better results, as opposed to just hoping that you luck box something. Also, hoping to get Robert Tonyan with his back spasms back soon. Talked about how Tonyan's been competing in the tight end derby, but it does seem like his guy Johnny Munt is potentially going to be the guy who replaces Hockenson, at least to start things off in the 2024 regular season. And then talked about how coaching plans change every single year. 2022 they had some success. 2023 struggled out of the gate. Notably, fumbles, turnovers, dropping balls all over the place, just giving away now. And then this year, they've emphasized more physicality in training camp. Now, that does mean that they've been practicing a little bit longer. It does mean that they've been doing more 11-on-11 drills and just really getting after things. That's why you do see some guys, dinged up a little bit, and with training camp you do get fatigued. These long days do get longer, but I think that it will pay dividends for the Vikings because last year, in both trenches, the Vikings were a little bit soft, as well as I would say like tackling overall sort of took a hit last year. And it definitely took a hit in 2022, but hopefully more attentiveness to that, more emphasis on physicality will help everything involved with this team. Also said that he's not worried about his contract. Vikings owner Mark Wilf, before O'Connell took the stage, said that O'Connell and Kwesi, they won't be extended now or in the season. They'll revisit in the offseason, blah, blah, blah. But either way, hey, win games, you're going to get paid. Either way, you'll be good to go. Plus, talked about how Sam and JJ's mobility has been a plus, where they're not just Charlie skedaddling against the Flores defense like they are. When they are moved off the spot, they're still looking downfield to make plays. And both of them have been pretty successful in making plays off the move and off schedule. So that's something good for the Vikings this year. But that's it. Kevin O'Connell presser before practice number 10 today. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section below. You guys are the best to do. Skull production value.